Three ideas to reflect on this Purim. Number one, you are a main character in a cosmic play directed by God. When we read the Purim story, we read the Megillah in 25 or 30 minutes, and it's easy to see how there was a director, how there was someone, God, who made sure that all the right people would be in the right place in order to lead to the salvation of the Jewish people. But as those events unfolded in real life, it happened throughout 10, 11 years. I'm sure that at each stage when Esther was chosen as queen, or when Mordecai happened to overhear a plot, no one thought something extraordinary was happening. It was only when in hindsight we look at all that together, we can't help but see God was there the whole time, working through us, working through history, making sure that the salvation of the Jewish people would come. I heard from a Holocaust survivor who left Europe just in the nick of time. The only country he was able to go to was Shanghai. Why is that? Well, about 100 years before that, there was a battle between China and Britain, and one of the conclusions of this bloody battle was that Shanghai was going to be an international city where trade was allowed. People could go there even without a visa. And the man remarked 100 years earlier, who would have known that this battle had anything to do with me, or the fact that 50,000 Jewish people would be saved as a result of it? But that's exactly what happened. It was because that occurred that later on that port was open for the Jewish people to flee. Examine your own life. Think about the people you know, the situations you are in, and you will see that just like the Hamantash, where there's dough all around it, but that filling is peeking out. Similarly in our lives, Hashem is there. Hashem has a plan for us. And like Esther, when we know that we are summoned by Hashem for greatness, when we say, why in the world do I know about this? Why was I put in this situation? That itself gives you the strength and the courage to do your mission. Number two, don't get fooled by the costume. You know, when you come out on Purim and you see kids dressed up like a villain or a monster or a robber, you know that isn't the real them. You know that that is just a costume, an external facade that they will put on for Purim, and tomorrow it'll be off and they'll go back to being the real them. When we see someone behaving in a less than ideal manner, don't define them by that moment. Don't judge them by that day. Recognize that sadly they have fallen prey to their animal soul for that moment. That's a bad costume that they are wearing. Their real self is their neshama, their soul. See past the costume and who they truly are. And finally, this Purim, raise your glass, make a l'chaim for Queen Esther. Talk to her from your heart. She's listening. Her soul is especially glowing on this day, and tell her, Esther, I know the sacrifice that you did for us. We're going to make you proud. I want everyone to remember that even when the story was over and the Jewish people are celebrating and eating hamantashen, she was still stuck with that monster, with Achashverosh, and she remained there until she passed away. She never was able to raise the Jewish family that she had wanted. Had you asked her if she wanted this position, she would have said no 100 times. But she recognized that Hashem chose her for greatness, and Hashem put her in this situation. She had so much courage, and even more so sacrifice, that all of us should be here today. We've had to wear our masks for 1 year. She had to wear a much harsher mask for her entire life. We should make her proud and be proud Jews like Mordecai, who did not bow down to Haman. So to us today, don't bow down to the social norms or the cultural idols that are there today. Live as proud Jews. Turn to her on Purim and say, your sacrifice was worth it. We are living proof. Esther, I'm going to make you proud. Have a joyous and meaningful Purim.